Who are the Basques? The Basque homeland, Euskal Herria, is a small region between France and Spain near the Pyrenees Mountains and the Bay of Biscay. The Basque country is comprised of 7 provinces. 90% of all Basques live in 4 Spanish provinces. The remainder live in 3 northern French provinces. I apologize ahead of time for my pronunciation of Euskara, the Basque language, or of anything said in Basque. I'm probably not doing it justice, and like I said, I totally apologize. It's a small area, only about 125 miles wide. Some of the Basque are Hasjerak, or mystery people of Europe, because although their presence has been speculated since prehistoric time, their origin is largely unknown. Basques call themselves Euskaldunak, or speakers of Euskara, the Basque language. Similar to millions of other European immigrants during the 1800s, Basques wished to build better lives. Basques moved to North and South America. In South America, they moved to Chile and Argentina. They also immigrated to Australia and the Philippines. In North America, they moved to Mexico and the U.S. Over 1 million Basques moved from their homelands in the Pyrenees Mountains. America offered opportunity and hope, so they began to migrate to the U.S. in the late 1800s and early 1900s. The gold rush of 1849 encouraged Basques, as well as others, to travel the southern route to Argentina, Chile, Mexico, and into California for mining. The booming sheep industry for meat and wool promised even more American jobs, and the 1869 Transcontinental Railroad enabled faster, safer, and less expensive travel for the American West. The second route triggered a larger migration of Basques who entered the U.S. through Ellis Island, New York, and then boarded trains for a 5 to 7 day journey to California, Nevada, Idaho, Oregon, and Wyoming. Basque males usually arrived alone with a limited education, no English skills, and for some, the intent to make money to eventually return home. Many men took arduous jobs that most Americans didn't want. Americans did not want to be sheep herders, for the pay was little and in rough, solitary physical conditions, much different from what they had experienced. Most had only tended a handful of sheep in rural farms, or had no interaction with livestock if they lived in fishing villages or the city. This is one of the big misunderstandings of the Basque. They were not sheep herders in the old country. Or most were not. Some were, but most were not. As opportunities increased in the U.S. in the 1920s and the 30s, chain migration led to subsequent waves of fathers, uncles, brothers also coming to America to work as sheep herders. The 1930s were an especially volatile time in Spain, in the Hegel region, a known Basque region, as this was where the Carlist Wars topped with the violence of the Spanish Civil War. Some Basque women started joining their families or friends. Others traveled as brides-to-be. Most Basque immigrants first settled in communal boarding houses that had been opened by fellow Basque countrymen. There they could join others, speak Euskara, eat familiar food, and obtain contacts for prospective jobs. Many Basque women worked in the boarding houses as domestic help, and many eventually became proprietors themselves of the boarding houses. Boarding house proprietors helped immigrants with translating, banking, medical issues, and they helped tremendously with the immigrant transition to the new ways of life in America. By the 1950s, the sheep industry had declined, and with it the rate of immigration and therefore the need for boarding houses. Many second-generation Basques had obtained educations, English skills, and their own homes. Western communities retained large Basque populations through the years, however, and cities such as Boise, Idaho, continued to celebrate this unique and ancient culture today. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. If you could give the video a like and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. Sheep herders led rugged and simple lives. To help them be with their herds of sheep, they had to move frequently, so they devised sheep wagons. It was a mobile base of operations to house the herdsmen in any weather. The equivalent today would be the teardrop trailer. Everything a herdsman needs exists inside. He can sleep, cook, and play the shutsu, a type of flute, or the alboka, a double reed instrument if he felt the urge. If it was raining, he was dry, and if it was snowing, he was warm. Even though the Basques were not original sheep herders, they became synonymous with the term because they were so hardworking and dependable. There were sometimes problems with cattle ranchers. The most problems were in Wyoming, where the sheep had open pastures to graze. The disputes centered on grazing on public lands. The cattle ranchers saw this land as theirs, even though it was public lands and not owned privately. The ranchers accused the sheep of tearing up the grass and polluting the water. Tensions ignited into a series of range wars that turned violent. There were many other attacks and deaths, but one of the worst was Spring Creek Raid in 1909, when 7 cattlemen attacked a sheep camp near Ten Sleep, Wyoming. They killed 3 herders and destroyed wagons and livestock. In a landmark trial, 5 attackers were convicted. After this, there were only a few minor occurrences. The era of open grazing on public land without limits came to an end with the Taylor Grazing Act of 1934. This bill imposed fencing requirements and strict grazing permits, thus reducing sheep grazing by a lot. Boise, Idaho has the largest ethnic number of Basques for any city outside of Basque country. There is an entire block known as the Basque Block, with a museum, gift store, restaurants, and more. There are events held year-round. The Basque Center holds dinners, dances, and community gatherings. There are some historic buildings on the block to check out. Northern Nevada also has been home to many Basque people. From Reno to Elko to Winnemucca, this country holds a special place for Basque. The National Country Poetry Gathering highlights the Basque annually. The Basque Cultural Center in Reno, as well as Louis' Basque Corner, are well-known Basque hangouts. California has the highest number of Basque population by state, over 18,000. Bakersfield has the highest density of Basque restaurants in the country that include Will Grower's Restaurant, Chalet Basque Restaurant, Pyrenees Cafe, and Benjo's French Basque. Chino also has California Basque roots and holds Basque festivals. South San Francisco, just south of San Francisco, has a thriving community and has the amazing Basque Cultural Center restaurant. There used to be a really terrific Basque restaurant in San Francisco I loved, but it closed many years ago. Since then, if I want Basque food, I go with my friends to the Cultural Center in South San Francisco, which is amazing. If you want to try a Basque restaurant, I say go for it. It might be different than any restaurant you've ever been to. The Basque people are proud people, and they are very proud of their heritage. Their history has deep roots in communal eating. Everyone sits around big tables and shares the food. So you should expect to sit around a large table and be served family style. It's a lot of fun. There are lots of courses and the food is delicious. It's country food, so nothing is fancy, but everything is good. And be adventurous. You might try a food you thought you might dislike, but try it. I bet you'll like it. Every meal starts with carafes of wine and a big bread basket with some of the best bread you'll ever eat, cheese, and then soup. There will be a big soup tureen, and everyone will take out what they want from the tureen. And it will be delicious. Then following the soup will be the salad, pasta, and vegetable courses. These, again, will be on big plates, and you take what you want. And then the star of the course, the main course. You choose your main course like steak, stew, or fish, and you get that separately. But all the sides will be shared, and there will be plenty of sides. And try the pecan punch at the end of the meal, which is a Basque specialty. Now, there are Basque festivals that are held annually throughout the West. Gildi in Boise, Idaho is held every 5 years, and it's the biggest in the country. The National Basque Festival takes place in Elko, Nevada. The National Basque Festival in Buffalo, Wyoming takes place. Basque Club picnics in Salt Lake City. Now, they're picnics. They call them picnics throughout the West. You may find them in many places. Gardnerville has one, and Gardnerville, Nevada has one. There are festivals throughout California, including Rockland, Chino, South San Francisco, and Pengrove. And there are many more throughout the West. So if you want to eat, you can find great restaurants. If you want to go to a festival, there are plenty of those. So check out the Basque culture and the Basque festivals, and you might find that they are just a great time.